The limousines kind of stream down the driveway and they come up in front of the house and the door slides open and Michael comes out with a crouch. And I bring him here and he sat right here behind, on this black sofa, and I kind of kneel down and I put my hand on his bandages. And I said, I'm not a healer, of course, but I told him, Michael, look, help me, let me focus my energy into your foot, you'll feel okay.
Entre os convidados que aguardavam a chegada de Michael estava a jornalista Eve Pollard.
There was more security than I've ever seen. We've got used to security now, but in 2001, I'd never seen anything like it. And I'd edited newspapers. There was more security than you get with a royal attending. Then, of course, we got into the wedding, and normally, you know, you sit down, you watch the wedding, you have your reception. Michael was so late that people sort of sat down at first, then thought, what am I doing here after 20 minutes? Then they started serving food and drinks because you just couldn't wait for this thing, you know, to get going. And then Michael came in. And then, as always, we were transfixed. We were fascinated to watch him. He sat down for most of the ceremony because he was on crutches, he'd hurt his foot. The crutches, I think, were also, white to match the white skull cap he wore. And he was very quiet. And I think did recognize it was Uri and Hannah's day.
Entre as celebridades presentes estava a cantora Patti Boulay.
When we met at the wedding, at Uri Gettler's wedding, that was the first time Michael began to tease me about looking like Diana Ross. He'll turn around, look at me in that naughty way. He'd go, ain't no mountain high enough. Michael. he would laugh and giggle, you know. And he said, Patty, you look just like that. There must be a throwback. She must come from your family. I said, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. There was kind of this energy, and it's Michael's energy, nobody else. The only person I've come across with that kind of effect is the Pope, really, on people.
Just before I was lifted up on the chair, because that's another custom tradition, he just hugged me. And you know what? You know, that hug, which, I don't know, lasted for just... Sorry. That hug, it was just a few seconds, but it was real love and unconditional. It's just so hard for me to believe that he's gone. And I haven't spoken to him for a long time, but still there is that connection. And I comfort myself today, just weeks after his death, that he's there, he's up there.
Durante a mesma viagem à Inglaterra, Michael esteve presente no lançamento de um livro. Uri tinha publicado as cartas trocadas com o seu amigo, o rabino Shmuley Buteach.
I wrote a book with Rabbi Shmuley Buteach called The Rabbi and the Psychic. Very, very sensitive, powerful book. It's actually started with me writing letters to Shmuley. He wrote back letters to me, and they were so profoundly deep and spiritual and sensitive and revealing that we decided, hey, let's create a book out of the letters because it could help a lot of people. So the book launch was scheduled in England, and Michael agreed to come and help us promote it. It was amazing.
No dia a seguir ao lançamento do livro, Michael esteve na Universidade de Oxford. Tinha sido convidado para fazer um discurso sobre a importância da educação dos filhos e para inaugurar uma nova associação de caridade para crianças.
There was this huge, massive anticipation waiting for Michael Jackson to come. You know, I bet with you that most of the kids there did not believe that Michael will come. This was not true. And it was a rainy evening, and you know that there is space in the hall for maybe, 300 people, maybe 400, I don't remember. My goodness, there were hundreds and hundreds of students lined up outside the auditorium, the hall. And when we arrived, it was, some were clapping hands, some were shouting, some were running to take pictures.
Michael tinha decidido falar sobre a sua infância e referir a difícil relação com o seu pai. Jonathan Margolis acompanhou Michael no trajeto entre Londres e Oxford.
He decided he wanted to call his dad on the phone. And he asked me if I had a phone, which I had. He asked one of his many people in the minibus who had his dad's number in Las Vegas. I think he lived in Las Vegas. Dialed him, and there was this extraordinary conversation, of which, of course, I only heard one side, which was just sort of, oh, hi, Dad, I'm in England. I'm going to address the students at Oxford University, and I'm going to talk about you. But it's okay, it's in a very positive light, nothing to worry about. And the father said something, and he listened, and he finally said, Dad, I love you. And then handed me the phone back. And he kind of looked out the window at the traffic on the M40 and said, you know, I don't think I've ever said that to him before.
At one stage of his speech about his father and forgiving his father, he broke down and cried. It was just maybe 30 seconds to a minute, but it was real, it was genuine. And Michael didn't cry in kind of public places, unless I'm wrong, but it was very, very emotional. And I think all the students were with him. There was silence. We all know that his father was a very strong man who wanted Michael to be a superstar. And we all read the times when Michael stood by a window, 5 years old, 6 years old, saw other children play baseball, basketball, and then he was probably dragged back into the room to rehearse and practice and sing. So he lost his childhood.